I know I'm about to make some of you mad with this, but it's time to install some electric motors. Welcome back to part 6 of this P82 Twin Mustang build, where today we're going to be installing these brand new Skywalker 2826 SL brushless motors and a pair of 70 amp ESCs. This whole system is going to be powered by two 4S LiPo battery packs, which should work perfectly for us. Now, since this plane was originally designed for two glow engines, we have to make our own mounts for these motors. With some well thought out measurements, I marked 4 holes that we will need to drill out. Now, how did I get these measurements, you might ask? Well, through some trial and error on the second fuselage, but we don't need to talk about it. Confirming everything lines up with the motor backplate, I go ahead and drill the 4 holes that we will use to install the blind nuts. Now, these blind nuts have little teeth that bite into the back of the firewall and essentially create threads that we will use to bolt our custom standoffs into. Using a big washer and a bolt, I tighten it down as much as I can to get the blind nut to properly seat into place. Now, for these motor standoffs, I'm going to be using 70mm bolts and some thick wall aluminum tubing that I cut down to 2 1/16 inches to create a sort of spacer between the firewall and the motor, which will put the propeller hub right at 4 1/4 inches from the firewall. With all of the standoffs made, I go ahead and assemble the hardware for the motor and bolt the entire assembly to the firewall. The 70 amp ESCs need to get some XT60 connectors soldered on, and once we connect it to our motor, we can give everything a quick test. This plane officially has a power system, which feels awesome and is a huge step knocked out for this build, but the real win here is the fact that nothing started on fire with 2 batteries connected for the first time. We are so close to getting this thing wrapped up and in the air for the first time, so if you want to see that, make sure to follow along.